You suddenly have more time than you're used to. Your schedule opened up, things slowed down. And instead of it feeling good, it feels off, a little uncomfortable, maybe even a little unsettling. Hi, my name is Jessica. This video is going to explain why that happens and why this kind of time can feel the way it does. This isn't the kind of time you plan. It's not a vacation. It's not a break you choose. It's what shows up when something shifts. You get sick and your routine stops. A role changes. A relationship ends. Or something just quietly closes. And suddenly, you're left with time you didn't ask for. Time you don't quite know how to be in. And I've seen this in the comments too. People saying, okay, I'm here now. What do I do? And if you've been in that kind of space recently where things slowed down and it didn't feel entirely good, would you please take a second and hit the like button? It helps me know this is landing in the right place, and it helps the algorithm recommend it to others who need this information as well. So this actually came up for me recently. I had an upper respiratory infection about 2 weeks ago, and everything stopped. No normal rhythm, no forward movement. And what that created, whether I wanted it or not, was time. And it got me thinking about something important for this channel. For winter season, I focused heavily on midlife transitions. But stepping back with that additional time I was given, what I realized is this: transitions aren't age specific, they're human. You can be in a major transition at 25, 42, or 63. So, what we're actually talking about here on this channel isn't necessarily a phase of life, it's a pattern of life. And before we go any further, to everyone who has stopped by, watched these videos, left a comment, and to those of you who have subscribed, thank you for taking a chance on me, on this work, and this channel. This is still being built in real time, and you being here matters, me and to others. So, where does this time that I'm talking about actually come from? It tends to show up in a few places. Milestones, when something completes. Hard decisions, when something changes because you chose differently. Loss, when something is taken from you. Or moments when something just stops working. And when any of those four things happen, the structure that was holding your life in place shifts. And when that structure shifts, time opens up. The time you're in isn't empty space. It's what's left when your life stops working the way it used to. Let me give you a real example of what this can look like. There was a period 10 years ago where I suddenly had more time than I knew what to do with. Not because I chose it, but because my body forced it. I had a major MS relapse. Health failed, and I had to close a practice I had spent 5 years building. At the same time, I had gone through years of loss. Family members, friends, pets, one after another. Everything that used to structure my life was gone. My days became very simple. I would wake up, stretch, take a short walk with my dog Elixir, go to a doctor's appointment or physical therapy, sit and read, journal, try to draw, even when my hands didn't cooperate. And I spent a lot of time just thinking. And the thought that kept coming up was, I failed. not just at work, but at my life. I had made some terrible decisions and I could no longer trust myself. What that time did was remove all the noise and layers that had been covering that hard truth to come up. There was nothing left to distract me from it. No roles to hide inside, no momentum to keep me moving. Just me and what was actually true. And this is why this kind of time feels so uncomfortable, because the structure that used to organize your life is gone. The routines, the roles, the expectations, all of that provided direction, whether it was right for you or not. And without it, there's nothing buffering you from your own thoughts, nothing filling the space, nothing keeping things moving, just a level of stillness that most people aren't used to, and some seek. In normal life, there's usually enough noise to stay oriented, enough activity, enough input, enough momentum and movement. When that drops away, what's underneath becomes a lot more visible. Thoughts that were easier to ignore, feelings that didn't have to be named, questions that didn't have to be answered. So, when you find yourself with this kind of time, it's not random. It's not something that just happened out of nowhere. It's what's left when something in your life is no longer holding. And that can feel terribly disorienting because the structure you were relying on is gone. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Where are you noticing this in your life right now? What changed that created more space or time? In the next video, I'm going to walk you through what people tend to do when they find themselves here and why most of those instincts don't actually work. It'll be on your screen. Take good care, and I'll see you in the next one.